What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your man Chazz Ellis once again, and as you know, every now and again I like to tell a story from my life that could possibly help you with some things that you're going through in your life right now. When I was young, I was very sick. I had a disease called asthmatic bronchitis, and I also had a lung infection. Now what this did was it made me sick from like the ages of being a toddler, like 2, 3 years old. I was sick off and on then, all the way up until I was about 7 or 8 years old. That was the time period when I was really sick. I was in and out of the hospital all the time. And then I stayed a little sick off and on up until I was about 15. But I was super sick back in the younger years. So anyway, I always wanted to play football though. I really just wanted to get out there. I really wanted to play. But, you know, I had been so sick that it wasn't something that I really felt that I would ever get to do. But when I got to be around 7, 8 years old, I started feeling better a little bit, you know, so I thought to myself, I want to get out here and try to play football. Anyway, I told my dad, I said, hey, I want to play. I want to get out here and play because I saw a lot of my family members were playing, my cousins, my brother was playing, a lot of my friends, you know, were out there playing football. So I just wanted to be a part of that too. And my dad was like, I don't know, because you know, you do get sick a lot, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you. So I told him, I didn't tell my mother first, I told my father first, because I figured that he might be more likely to be sympathetic towards my situation. And he liked football also. My mother really didn't know anything about football, so I didn't think she would see that as much of a big deal. So I tried to get my dad on my side. I talked to him about it over and over again. Finally, he was like, you know what? I'm going to tell your mother that we should let you play, because I think, you know, it'd be a good thing for you, and I don't want you to feel like you can't do stuff. So anyway, he goes and he lobbies my mother to let me play football. At first, she didn't want to let me do it, but he finally talked her into it, and they let me get on a team. Now, I was elated to be on a team. I only got to play 2 plays the whole season, but I was super happy. I was dancing in the streets just to be on a team, just to be out there, you know, playing the game. I was, you know, jumping up and down. I was cheering for everybody. You know, even though I wasn't getting to play, you know, I was still happy. I was super happy. I would have liked to get in the game. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to get in the game. But it wasn't like it made me feel like I wasn't valuable because I wasn't in the game. I was super happy just to be on a team. Because just before, I was, you know, in a tent. You know, one of those little ventilation tents that they have. You know, just a little while before, I was living like that. So I was super happy about my situation. It was great. Anyway, after a while, a lot of my family members and friends and stuff were like, yo, man, you don't never get in the game, man. Damn, they got you on the end of the bench. You don't never get to play. And, you know, it started making me feel bad. You know, I was happy about being on a team, but then I started feeling like, man, you know, maybe if I'm not playing in the game, I suck. And maybe people are laughing at me and embarrassed. And I started becoming embarrassed to the point where I even thought about quitting. I was like, well, maybe I don't want to play football anymore. So what I did was, I talked to my dad about quitting, you know, and my dad was like, well, you can't quit, you know, you don't start something and then quit, you have to finish. So I didn't get to play that season at all. Really, like I said, I played like 2 plays the entire season. So what I did was I got with my father and my brother, and we worked out outside and stuff like that. I learned how to catch passes a little bit better. I learned, you know, just different things about running the ball. And my dad kind of went over a lot of those things with me, you know, helping me just learn a little bit more about how to be aggressive on the football field, things like that. You know, because now he felt like I was able physically to get out there. So anyway, the next season, I had a much better season. As a matter of fact, I became one of the better players on the team. Then I ended up becoming one of the better players in the league, you know, and even making an all-star team. You know, and I was, you know, scoring touchdowns on a regular basis. I was doing stuff on defense, you know, being very successful on defense also. And I was having, you know, I was being successful on the football field in terms of, you know, production. And anyway, I remember one game, I scored a touchdown, and I almost scored another touchdown to win the game, but I came up a little short, and we didn't win. Anyway, my friends and family members and stuff like that, you know, was telling me stuff like, you know, oh man, if you'd have scored, you know, y'all would have won. I know you got to feel bad. And I actually really didn't feel bad when I walked off the field. I was happy, you know, that I was out there and we were close and we could have won the game, you know. I wish that we would have won, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't sad. I didn't feel like a failure or that I had done something wrong or whatever. But as I started talking to people, I started feeling kind of bad, to the point where I felt so bad that I didn't really want to quit, but I kind of thought about it for a second. It kind of flashed in my mind, not like something I really was going to do, but you know how you might think like, man, this ain't even worth it getting out here, man. Anything I do, is wrong. And I felt like I had played really well, and it just came down to anytime I make some kind of a mistake or something like that, people say something about me, they judge me or say that I'm not good enough at something. So it really kind of hurt my feelings, and I kept playing anyway. And I remember after one game, I thought I had a really good game. I was like, man, I think I played really well in this game. And I was, waiting to go home and see what my friends and my family members and everybody would say, my cousins and my brother and all those people would say about how I played. And I ran into this kid that was on a team named Eugene. Now, Eugene was a cool kid. He was a little chunky, he was a little heavy, but he was cool. His mom bought the best snacks too. I mean, she had all kinds of cupcakes and Twinkies and all kinds of stuff that I wasn't allowed to really have at home. So his mom would bring like the best snacks. So she was like super popular amongst everybody. And Eugene was too. He would be high-fiving everybody on the bench, and he would be, just, slapping fives and hugging people every time they made a good play. And he was just really just excited. But he never played. Eugene never got in the game. I don't remember that fool getting in the game, once at that point in time. Never got in the game. But anyway, he was super happy about just being on the field. And I remember I came up to him one time, as I was leaving the game, because I felt like I had a pretty good game, but I was kind of, I wanted to make sure that I had one when I talked to my friends and family and stuff. And anyway, I was talking to him about just, the game and how it went and everything like that. And he was like, yeah, you did a good job and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, the coach should let you play, Eugene. That's messed up that you got to sit on the bench all the time. And Eugene just kind of looked at me real funny, like, and he was like, I'm just happy to be on the team. I'm having fun. I don't really care if I play. And I was like, what? I was just shocked. It was like, for a second, I couldn't even fathom the concept of him just feeling good about something no matter what other people thought. He wasn't thinking about, are some people going to say I'm just sitting on the bench and not getting a play? He wasn't thinking about the fact that other people were out here scoring touchdowns and he wasn't. He wasn't thinking about other people were having a game with their lives and he was just riding the pine, not doing anything. I thought about it for a second. I said, man, I just had a really good game. I'm one of the better players on this team and one of the better players in the whole league. And I'm not happy about playing football. This is as a little kid. I'm sitting here thinking it's like, I'm not happy about playing football. I'm worried about what somebody else is going to say when I get in the car, or what somebody else is going to say when I go home, or when I'm on a playground with my friends. And this dude that doesn't even get to play in a damn game is getting a chance to be happy, smiling, laughing. I haven't been like that since I first got out here on that field, and I never played. So when I got home, I didn't really think about it as much then. I didn't really learn it as much then, but it stayed in my mind. It stayed in my mind how Eugene felt. And I remember playing with Eugene the next season. And he got in the game sometimes the next season. Sometimes he didn't. Sometimes he played really well when he got in the game and did something good. And sometimes he just would mess up. And no matter what happened, Eugene would have the same level of happiness. He'd be slapping everybody face. Boom, boom, good job, good play, buddy. He would have the same look on his face no matter what. He'd walk out of the game feeling the same way. And one of the things I learned from Eugene then, and I really couldn't process it as much when I was a little kid, but it was something I carried with me into adulthood and use to this day, is that you have to be the person to define your own success. And that's what he did. As a little kid, that dude was smart enough to understand the concept of defining his own success. He was not driven by what other people thought about him or what other people said about his game, whether he made a good play or a bad play. He wasn't a loser either. He wasn't just a quitter. He'd go out there and do his best on every play when he got a chance to play. But he said, wherever I am in life, whatever I'm doing, whether I'm on the bench rooting for other people, or I'm in the game getting a chance to play, or they put me at a different position, whatever I do in life, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to put my chin up, and I'm going to feel good about myself. And I don't care what anybody thinks. That's something special. A lot of times we let other people take our joy because we get so caught up in what other people think about us and what other people feel about our success. We let somebody steal our joy. We let somebody steal our hope, our happiness. Somebody steal the great feeling of just going out there and doing whatever it is that we want to do. Sometimes you got a job that you love, but your family doesn't think it's good enough, so you feel like you got to do something else. Sometimes you with a person that you really love to be with, but somebody says they're not attractive enough, or they're not smart enough, or they don't make enough money, and you start second guessing whether you should even be with that person. Sometimes we just don't feel good about ourselves. Maybe you went to the gym and you lost a few pounds and you were like, you know what, I'm feeling great about myself. And somebody tells you, oh, you still got a ways to go, and you feel like crap again. It's like we let people just suck the joy out of anything we do because we define ourselves by what they think success is and not what we think success is. Success is whatever made you happy. If you got out there and you were happy riding the bench, then you were successful. If you're out there working a job, you ain't really making a whole lot of money, but it's making you happy, you're successful. If you're in the unemployment line, but you were over there smiling every day, you're successful. We can't let other people decide what success is for us. We got to do it for ourselves. Otherwise, you'll be on top of the world and you still won't feel good about yourself. You could be the star player and you're still unhappy. You could be a millionaire and you're still unhappy. You could have the best looking person in your life and you're still unhappy. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just defining success for myself. Hopefully I was able to help you out. Once again, it's your man, Chazzellis. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with somebody else. Peace.